So today we're going to be talking about section 9.4, which is on composition of transformation. So what we're going to be talking about is taking everything that we've learned so far, translations, rotations, and reflections, and combining them. The first one that's kind of important to know is what's called a glide reflection, and essentially that is a rotation and a translation. So a translation followed by a reflection, and so you see like footprints are kind of the same way. You move it over, and then you flip it over some line. So let's look at an example right here. It says triangle JKL has vertices 6, -1, 10, -2, and 5, -3. Graph JKL, its image after translation along 0, 4, and then a reflection over the y-axis. So let's do that. Okay, so we'll always start by drawing our original figure. So JKL, so 2, 3, 5, 6, -1. Okay, that's J. And then K is at 10, -2. Right there. And then L is at 5, -3. So there's L. Okay, and so I'm going to draw my image right there. Okay, so that's my original triangle. Now it says to translate it along 0, 4. So 0 means I move left to right 0 and up 4. So I count from each one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's J prime. I count up 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's K prime. And then I count up 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's L prime. Okay? So that is my first part of my transformation is I've slid it up 4. Now it says to reflect it over the y-axis. Remember, here's the y-axis. Okay, so I'm going to just count how many over it is. Now the nice thing is that I haven't moved left or right at all. So my x-coordinates are basically just going to become negative. So I'm going to count over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for L. So I count 5 the other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's L double prime. We've done 2 transformations. Now it's double prime. J is over 6. Okay. J is double prime. And then K is over 10. And so here is my figure again. So notice all I've done is split it up 4 and then reflect it over the y-axis. Easy enough. You can just count it. In fact, I think it's easier to count it than to have to do it using your rules of rotation reflection. Okay, here's another example. The endpoints of CD are -7, 1 and -3, 2. Well, let's start by graphing those. So -7, 1. Okay. So that's C. And then D is at -3, 2. So there's D. Okay. There's my line CD. It says graph CD and its image after a reflection in the x-axis and then a rotation of 90 degrees about the origin. Okay, so first I'm going to reflect it over the x-axis. Remember, here's the x-axis. So since it's 1 above, my new reflection, C prime is going to be 1 below. 2 above, it's going to be 2 below. Okay, so that's my new one. Now I have to rotate it 90 degrees about the origin. So now we're going to have to remember our rotation rules for 90 degrees. So remember, C prime, okay, is going to be the point -7, -1, and D prime is going to be the point -3, -2. Okay, and so now we're going to go to C double prime and D double prime. Okay, so remember our rules for rotating 90 degrees. Remember, we were going to flip. So it was -1, -7. And then we changed the first one, which would have been our y. So now that's a +1. Over here we flip, -2, -3. And then we change the first one. So now we actually have +1, -7. I'll have to move my graph down to show that. Okay. +1, -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so that's C double prime. And then the other one's going to be a +2, -3. So there's D double prime. Okay, so notice I went first by flipping over the x-axis, then rotating it 90 degrees. Okay, and that's all you're going to have to do for section 9.4.